This is Adu TV. Truth and integrity.
Friday, Saturday. Yes, so yale. And so no shame. Yes, suddenly see kemu. Eko ni fie kobo search. Wo be a scandal we ria on mine wo bo mine krono no aban we enko after that person. Yam prosecutors say ni pakro.
Adu TV suni e wosan ma mo nyina akwaba ensan so ma mo nyina ha. Na kwabena Adu Boahen. Aha brantie na yesi one ne wife bu o man afa so. Ti a chiwo mu still na na ase o moda so hye police from motom. Ye police from motom so de. Still no moda so hye. Eti eno so ho asema ba na ama ajakon awo CTV ene Accra FM wafaya pa ansa bobi nso afaya watie gem na ma HS no kuranie se mahama fa ne nansi fom na nipa bonfo abedi o mensi ka ya tetwom nyine nguma wanhwe a mahama yini be bre ne pa yini be bre no se wanhwe CJ nso amanfo bi pese pam no petition na nya komampanyen ho wo se wa forward the council of state na sa council of state nsema e be fima ba no etisen amanfo kika sen DC fo na achiro petition di aba enye obi a emu asem tisen na ma afaya
Kwabena Adu Boahen de se onya bill no kwa na omo besanso arrest no besanso ache no ba per information na e wa out no from the legal team the lawyers no sama atache mu buacho say Kwabena Adu Boahen ene ne yire no omo da so hiem omo mpie ye because bail condition no omo ntimi emiti ye 120 million bill for Adu Boahen no no surety ena ne yire no so de no 80 million Ghana cedis omo ntimi emiti ye enti yegusu aye kasa die omo da so hiem ya lawyers ne hwe so be ko high court na chese omakwa ko siki bill e de ama Kwabena Adu Boahen ne yire eno onu ankasa emu ba minim de se high court e grant bill no e de ema Adu Boahen ne yire na se yokofo e be sanso akwa pekele ni papa ne de a no kra ye papa mpo guy ne de a enti no Kwabena Adu Boahen one ne yire ene da so Ghana me say one mo be track ya fish out o ma fish out where you on ne yire kra wedding picture nyina de aba one ne yire wedding picture nyina o mo de aba enti o mo da so atwirimu enipa ebe bobra so wo bobra atutafie whole estate dan 27 nyina ya ne dia aside enokra no wo other properties yeah what millions of dollars not even in cities so millions of dollars na oshe cells ti kapebone eni brenti Kwabena Adu Jamfi 44 years aja sa ohwe na ne yire no nso nyini bia lady ni ho ofepa ai yo ho apempe e ma mpehia sidia na je etu omo da so wom ye release wo mo twirim omo na da so no ne yire wedding picture you may kiss the bride and wo fe ne yire ano no omo da so ehim nipa mpe ne ho asem pe nipa ne pe ne ho asem de so wote ne ba bi o na emom no nipa da sani ya oye ni brefo nipa da sani a ofi se ono ko ade opportunity bia obenya bia no obesi that opportunity na wa de agrabe na wa de make wealth enti se wani brade apia the outcome of it no properties ni nyina wo be hwie e de agu ho but when so entity wo no na Kwabena Adu Jamfi one wo yire ahofe lady when yase na danfo kredi ni birthday a otimi e che na danfo ne 500,000 Ghana cedis because all ma amre ene sika no wo munyaaye National Signal Bureau former Director General oni ni yiri nie yeso ye dekin e wa asori mu guy ya we gina for 44 years was seize the opportunity be a winyaye under President Akufo-Addo no. So 44 years. They say what one mono or you are the 4 power we sikani pa. A sense opportunity be a ba na kwamuno under former President Akufo-Addo no wa grabe ye na o make good use of those opportunities no ama ene o yesikani. Etu ada so twirimunti ye hwe utimi aban futuom aban account mu utimi e transfer sika more than 30 million Ghana cedis na wo de free mu na de akwakoto wo personal account mu utimi say ye wo CMG na when your opportunity say o ye accountant na wo ye CEO na wa transfer sika every company no account mu millions of Ghana cedis no wa transfer na wo de akwakoto account mu na eda account mu a ne awo pe e na wo de ye ne awo pe se wo office ne ye wo dia e opportunity e na wanya wa grab that opportunity no wa seize that opportunity no say say opportunity we ya aba won sam no ko ade wonu oyire no wo ma forward ever backwards never ube you are the four ube nya sika sika de wanya bi pa me toaso entu amoda so twirim eno ho na MPP fo no eye dede no se omutieti omofa ahodie so na after 48 hours no e wo senka ya grant omu bail enti after 48 hours no iyoko agrant omu bail but bail conditionality na se conditions no omuntimi meet ye entu omu twirim enti se wo ye NDC ni na wo hwe enipa mpempem a 8 years in opposition wo mu nyina ati wo hu gumuo enye ba akofo ene ye campaign eye nipa dodo na ye campaign e de NDC aba power ba nyankopon adoma boa selection no ebi akam wanya appointment a hwe wo hu yie asema obi aka no no hwe wo hu yie opportunity na wanya grab seize that opportunity no but enu nkyere se wo se wo ye greedy e wo se wo ye kromfo a bompa ye se nyankopon hu mobo because they ato MPP for no bebre wa kira wo mo na ya ebi eba beto wo mo hwe se wo behwe se mark asibe ye bo a former KMA boss ya National Service Authority obeye pani e wa ha ne ya peke Thursday o shemu me read the report kra no ya eba out kra no ya sad ne ba ni fie ye wa akra ne personal residence wa akra ha ebe boss search o yire na wo man na wo busuafo na almost dini ko ni fie omo peke ni Thursday o shemu Friday Saturday yeso wo yale enso no o shem ye sad ni sika mu e ko ni fie ko boss search enti se nyankopon aboa chief executive officer deputy CEO minister deputy minister any opportunity be a wanya no obi anim say wo ka na wo de call office one mo no by the next 4 years yeah be kwa election no enye sa ka na wo use wo bi anim say wo wardrobe a e wo fie no na mu ne ma asesa obi anim say ye bobra kwa ye nim but use common sense na me na amade bia metena say ya meka say the MPP for the aba na ye ka no sa na wo so de ba ye be ka ne pepepe se wasem ba na se wo frem krofo ko hye dem e kire wo nsem ko fasika de mawon na se scandal no abowa me mentena konso anim emu obi betena ha e meka se before na mekọ asem no so no ahu ahwan asem aba no me allow ene ye sa be hu se NDC fo no Facebook no mu di matempa ba mu be di matempa me allow when your opportunity ni pampempim gwa kire o bebre su gu omu yem so omu nya bi bebre buafu bebre ni abre but lean government enti se nyame aboa na so kwayo ho kwabena adu ye friends kwabena Adu Boahen na kwayo ho say MPP government appointees officials na kwa grabi sika na sa homa no show nan ne won sa se wo frɛ enkrofo akɔhye dem ema wo mu sika na wotu wo mu gu radio so na me na ama meti konso animu a ebia na kwabena netia ba me na ama meti konso animu a no obi betena ha se obi discuss about wo scandal a me nye I won't do it. And I didn't so was so who say aban no say NDC etna so 12 years 16 years 20 years so kra NDC be ko opposition. It said ye no yam prosecute wo ye here accountability ye chi wo one after the other no who say NDC tena aban so 20 years na so ko opposition kra na wo so adwuma bi a wo ye 10 years back 12 years back no we be account for it. Say scandal bi ba mu a hu say de na MPP fo aye desperate wo mani abra wo mu buafuo no say NDC tena so empo 20 years kura one day wo be ko opposition no mu ko opposition a unyuma wo ye scandal ba ho a ebia wo party wa ba mu a eye ne nkata so mu aso no. And then it's something I know say President Mahama bibia no obesi wona ban mu a obeye cover up bia obeye clearing agent and Maria da was na nama we would be zombies to defend. We will not. And answer madam was say no we will not na okay train sir was it there anama we would be to zombies to defend any NDC government who steals. Okay. Ebiana de awotwe na manya ne yie. Yen defend wo bia wo be steal scandal bia bia yen defend. E wo bra ye ni abre se wo bia scandal we wia oman no wo bo wo man ne kro no aban we enko after that person yen prosecute say ni pakro. Yen confiscate wo asset yen jail wo mo. So we ye NDC nia me na nama. The last thing I will sit here na me yan say me defend the NDC appointee yeah when involving who was scandal and I say on my sika we I will never ever do it. I won't do it. And now me better na gala me say me defend it. I was say me defend there because obi me for 8 years any sabe ni nsem hunu na obi fa 3 months ma na won accuse no as if say wanya 1 year wanya 2 years and this if won so tigu nwuram pesika ni biye and this if won so tigu nwuram no mu so pesika ni biye but se fa kwaye adwuma se aba office who seize the opportunity na wa wia eno de forget it. We won't do it. And with the real fellow markets, come. Yeah, walk come say nya me behwe wo mo. Nya me behwe wo mo no. Amo na. Because I was say emra ye adwuma. Adepo ba ko a Ghana fo gina so e de to abade ma President John Dramani Mahama say, waka kire Ghana fo say, obe make sure say accountability e be koso wona ban mu. Obe make sure say former government officials krono a wama boni nyina da no Ghana fo benya accountability to waka kire Ghana fo say se wo mo toa so a krono bebrebe na wama bono sika no wama fa o ma wia yenya accountability bia wo ba bia but se wo mo ko opposition dia e benya accountability so wo mo ko opposition dia ye benya accountability adia kesia because Ghana ni bia wo manu bia hunu say no enema ekoso no asa wo man no criminal activities na doso e ma adane akromfo e mema adane akromfo se utie kwabena na se kwabena te ha na ensase hu nsem ma wo ka and then wo hwe that time MPs in parliament because of committees and then document revelations are na appear na wo bia wo Ghana ha no mu bia atena se ehunu say no I was here rescue your mind and then even few weeks to the general election yeah me hear speaker of parliament right honorable speaker Aban Bagbin ni interview bi a oye ya no ka kire Ghana for say 2024 election no enye election say 1992 say ye were military regime enti ye ba democratic dispensation ye the cabinet enti na Ghana batwa ye hu no ono right honorable speaker no wo muntu hu de si ye o say 2024 batwa no e different kra was it 1992 or say 96 in the keka ho and then after Rollins twa ye Rollins twa we 2000 year kwa election na say Ghana ye he say bibi besi bi ene ade no enye sa na tie na president Kufuor so ba ye 8 years na 2008 Ghana election or say nya sa na tie but 2024 the speaker back ben catch Ghana say ye rescue Ghana soul o mine ekra enti say speaker back bin way na so no be catch we say V92 kura no a na eye military soldier memuo soldier ban ene ye free mu aba democracy mu kura na nkemu ohu emu ye hyehye and then military ruler Jerry John Rawlings may he so rest in peace ena ye woni sabe kwa no Adu Boahen mu na ekona but speaker o kura ti mi catch Ghana for say 2024 ye rescue Ghana soul o mine kra na wo se na bibi wom na eniema bi a ehu ewom unim the last time akwabena eka bibi na yen clear wom you know something eni hu kwan se under president John Mahama ye witness bibi sa no de na dan pare ye no no clear them no mu kunkum ni pa rough and then COP George Alex Mensah eko bugri na bu hɔ no mu a omukotena wo kan say under president Akufo-Addo enipa ye kum wo mu nipa ewu esin even military regime no enu kwase ye hunu bi sa no because gradually on see a target NDC ni ye ka because of military regime e course ntino ni ye ka and a Rollins time ye kofa hinfo bi eni ye kwashutum ni ye but President Mills eba ye no father for all the way ni uniqueness bi oh we different bi bibi odi be wura mu no so that's I dream pona na ewo ni petri mu a na first ye hunu NDC bibi no the late President Mills en kakra ebe boa ye e ma afei Ghana fo hunu NDC e wo kwan foforo so and then after President Mills and so no the vice president President John Mahama ya onu so be take over no onu so toa so e ma ye hunu NDC foforo it is said the first day bia na ka say first we NDC atade kwa na ne hye edin so be hye NDC atade apie because of history bia e wono mu a ye na nanom aka generation ba na ye keka nsem bi tu yetiri mu but President Mills President Mahama that adwin pona na woni petiri mu no omutimi be boa ye nkakran se no sa de ne de ye afi ho hwe 8 years under President Akufo-Addo COP George Alex Mensah asem a wo kan ye se enipa ye kum wo mu wunyi dan pare de ato nchen ya MPP for na kasa ministers wo mu ankasa because of bonia criminal activities a na wo mu involve wo mu hu wo mu a wo mu katakata niema so enti ni pass secretly wo mu sie wo mu animu so akum wo mu what is say bobie listo we mu kwadwo ye bo amote ha no mu kasa mu abugina passem say ayi politanks sika no ahihye wo mu a guys fo boys bi kokko hunu ye ebe pim sa me guys ni ye hunu wo makira kwan sa sam no asi wo pi George Alex Mensah ka no senka NDC ni na ya president nanka si ya enka Ghana be ye ho enka Ghana be ye he ba on se MPP ntini ya kata so sei me ka kura si hwe before president Kufuor be ba hade anu o mo ye 2000 election ya sese woni se Togo president na ya kwan a omukwose sa efunu a na omutu funu gu abonten etufunu yes yakwa funu we yakum we wa ha wo beti yes yakum we wa ha wo beti yes yakum we wa ha wo beti yes yakum we wa se Ghana for kaya President Rawlings ewie ya the late President Mills wonu na ye presidential candidate 2000 wonu President Kufuor enkran ade abeche yesifunu we da yakum we yato ha ade abeche wo se yakum we yato ha ade abeche strategy MPP strategy de bia no omo peso mo paint NDC black se omo ye wudifo afi kwa de ne eto mu yesi be ma na mo so ane yesi ne be ma yira ensem de yati bi wo kuro mu ha o yesi yi kuma se kaje tia ene obi se ne be ma yira. That was 2000 oh. From 99 when we 2000. Yes, we be bear my yira. Yes, we be bear my yira. Yen will be bear my yira. And will be na ye he wagana ha. And we free one more. I say yes, yakwamu efunu eda Medina. Yakwakum we yat nina yes. But yatu abewi ya President Kufuor wini ye pe ye hunu fru ba kokora wabonti bi. Na che say Sam President Rollins ni NDC for kunkum krofo wabonti. Ye kunkum ma. No musanso make sure say funu no so no a wo mo to go abonten ye twi oba na ye twa no fo na ye twitwa ne pass ni ya paint you black say emoja wo mo hu and Ghana so ho but nyankopon dom after President Kufuor omudi saboni ni nyina 99 2000 one mo no a Ghana fo to wo mu tim to ema wo mo di akwanya ma MPP President Kufuor no. After say President Kufuor be your president, ya hunu funu wabontin biem. Emema wo mo so mo mema nam, omo na mu adum, enam circle, enam hia, obi di ne ho apem ne be ma yira, ya hunu bi biem. Ema ne yakunkum mo twetwetwa wo mo no fo, etwetwa mo ho niema, ya hunu bi biem. Fortunately for NDC, President Mills eba ya, sa niema na de target NDC no and kakran 4 years President John Dramani Mahama so beto so 8 years no na that adwene wa Ghana 14 no omo yi de afiri ho 8 years under Akufo-Addo hwe amesuale ya monitor wa abonten ye bonito wa abonten Kumase yansesa nkrofo bi ankokunkum mu wonwuram so omo ye armed robbers Dampare me se na no police pani bi e kan yesi dua ya list o we amotia no me yo amuka yesi dua na se no police fo bi se edura na dwekwa na sa wo no na wo no abeti ten eno ni se ten ye kum nipa e wo headquarters dua na se saa o ten o mu sie nipa kum nipa ohun wo mu criminal activities no hunu bia ba senke si wo NDC mu a I swear senka hwanka be ye den senka NDC betimi aba power because MPP nim propaganda ye dirty game, dirty politics. Omunimu yankasa. Dirty game say, yeah, but dirty game. I said where they ba. MPP is a gay party, lesbianism, criminals, sycophants, hypocrite. Ayanu crow. Say yam but dirty game, dirty politics pano. MPP for yade na omu yanso ema no to Ghana for trim. Because omo ntina sen konkote story ne kwa o omo make sure say ya na one was omo bekum nipa kwa twa magu abonten kwa mfa wo mo just to paint you black enti say clear them President Mahama won clear obi ya dear President Mahama be ye ne say rule of law ya de mre ba be ye djuma Ghana mra eba be ye djuma edi wane du he wo mo ya galamsey obi nkoshutu obi a obi nkonkosie obi a wanimu no so ye che wane ya chew na emra no ni wadi simple because se nyame aboa Kumasi Central Market edum wutimi she NDC t-shirt enam hono man krofo kra ma wo mo nsaso ye NDC first ne nte sa wo she NDC atade a wo benya ni patu eduaja ka se awudifo party eno de na ya tag awudifo but ene ni kro mo afija ase wutimi she NDC atade na binum kra de achi no mu bisa se NDC t-shirt mu mre ye bio key MPP members yo no mo ka se NDC t-shirt mu mre ye bi. And the President Mahama that we all know no ye ni mu se ode mra e ba be ye adwuma pepepe said ye we frase no enti no nyame aboa no anya opportunity a ye me kata wo kro no boso wo scandal so because they say NDC no the way Ghana for hunu NDC no NDC akwa ye Ghana for agye nkwa wo NDC akoya Ghana for agye nkwa enti obi amfe fi bia me for NDC. The last time it's I say kind says NDC 4 years e disappointed Ghana for yakwa election 4 years say low turnout. The next 4 years no enipa 50% kwa epie kwa to aba na ye nyankopon because they say Ghana for nya hope be ewo NDC mu a omahunu say NDC yes say Ghana agye nkwa wohwe development ya Ghana be bia northern region, eastern region, upper east, upper west, western. Wohwe schools, hospitals, clinics, water and so project be bia eye NDC. Now no honorable Collins Dauda na obro water project ahodo a omo ye wo Ghana ha eye NDC. Enti adie bia beba be for NDC bia ebe ha NDC bia no you will go fast obe contem yen tolerate you yen so maybe energy sector issues no so President Mahama swearing in ministers what swear ministers in and wakache ministers say obia sector de wo hunu bia no won brief Ghana fo ba me no edibi ekoso ewo energy minister Justice Napo ho a me ni nye hu eni e bi kwaso ho na me na ma me ni nje hu because say we start say we contradict we hu stories mu a eyesa na du ba bi a o madwuma no so kora ye din unfortunately so no o friend this for so kwaso mra me chechire mu kora so kora na o mo person ba be chire mu energy sector o start first day we are ranking member parliament energy committee so no who brief here we have press conference and when it comes to Ghana energy sector honorable Justice Napo you say you are abreast with issues, you are on top of issues a energy sector, but just few weeks no there are a contradictory stories be urban me na me mani nje ho because I'm better na me bo video no kasa 3,000 containers ewo habo ECG for imported 3,000 containers me bo videos no wa me bo video no wa ya kwa me last week and I said last 2 weeks na bo video last 2 weeks ye bo video no wa ha parliament floor of parliament and I will catch Ghana for say ECG containers best 3,000 ya o ma import yaba ewo tema habo e ma me be bo video wa ha de ye show e de ye program. What's what a committee need a report in the buy and containers no 2,500. Committee ni report and say containers no 2,500. Natural say and 3,000 be. Enti ebra bay report bay document bay and a crowd wa. What catch again? You catch say 3,000. Ya committee the report by ya 2,500 containers ya 1,350 ECG containers ajira e free tema port me na nama story we menti ase abra bay wo ko tema habo woni wo team delegation mo ko tema habo from 3,000 we see 2,000 okay say 2,500 containers ni go enti o kasa wo parliament no na containers say na aka e wote mahabo say na aka e wote mahabo contain and then my catch that me ka say sa report we na mo de maye no yenim se mo be ye ho adwuma but a free do aircon figures numbers stories Ghana for be breti say yet Ghana ha na se de adwuma hye obi so obi ye energy minister ye wo board of directors board chairman ECG wadano ECG ehye energy minister say Dr. Meltu Opoku Prempe ona na ye energy minister ECG ehye na say Afeno Markin. Your board chairman ECG from Ghana Water and we buy ECG because ECG is cow hopa. Buy ECG. Under President Akufo-Addo no. Na your managing director. Ya oda ECG ano. Oh, Mahama Dubik ko e hwan buy. Ya da bia mbo Mahama Dubik. Mahama Dubik dia oche ho. Oche ho pa. Ono scandal say ya haptel nom scandals bebre ena kwafa Dubik ho a afa de last days wo mo so resign yo so mo pamu no. Okay, Dubik cry resign ye September 2024 ya. Samuel Dubik Mahama September 2024 ya na ono resign ya wokoye. Okay, the obaye after Dubik no David Asamoah. Okay, David Asamoah. That is ono cry there wanche because Dubik no call September there. That is a way by no. Anche bia na chese we be September, October, November, December be di be 3 months pe. Enti kire se nipa abone na nkasa no wodi ye no. Mahama Dubik Napo Energy Minister. ECG Board of Directors, Chairperson, Chairman. Feno Markins. Containers ya si ayira. 1,350 ECG containers missing from Tema Port. Container biano value $500,000. Container baku bia value $500,000. And the containers na ayirano 1,350 containers na ayirano. Total value $675 million. Containers ya si ayira 1,350 ECG containers missing from Tema Port. Container biano value $500,000. Container baku bia value $500,000. And the containers na ayira no 1,350 containers na ayira no. Total value $675 million. Unim ayira adabei. Say o kan sem bi say ya na areho. Kwame mame Justice Napo we no ne ko say unim o kan sem bi say ya.
2,491 containers. ECG itself presents as containers held at the ports. 1,328 cannot be accounted for. That is very serious and that's very alarming. And I assure you, we would conduct a detailed 2,491 containers. ECG itself presents as containers held at the ports. 1,328 cannot be accounted for. That is very serious and that's very alarming. And I assure you, we would conduct a detailed investigation into this matter. And somebody or some people will be held liable for this. 1,328 containers cannot just vanish into thin air. Somebody must be held liable for this. And I assure you that we would hold people liable for this. And whatever it takes, we'll work with the Attorney General, we'll work with the police, and ensure that whichever group, whatever people are responsible for this, are brought to book. And that we retrieve either the containers or the monetary equivalent.
ECG for ton edema Ghana for na yesuno yehuna mane na ye bre na ye ntimi no sika na wo mu gidi free Ghana ni ho ordinary Ghana ni ho no mo no omo de import containers na ba ye no emu 1,350 ayira sa containers we year bi $500,000 no and a bitimi system ha now ma auction e dey ma MPP ni no aton 100,000 Ghana cedis na ECG akwa ton $300,000 na ECG for catch Ghana for say illegal omo ko ton kanea no Ghana for e ya akromfo ECG for e peso omo kire wiase se Ghana for ye ya akromfo na nkania no mbeton de maye no omunya hu sika enti ECG eto nkania na abo aye wo ka na anu IMF it say honorable Napo ka say IMF before budget preparation no na almost suggest say omunto nkania buomu by certain percentage ECG men adwuma wo mu ye nyina ye nkania na wo mu ton no sika na say ECG former as a wiase hu say Ghana for ya akromfo ase Ghana for ya akromfo because in Kania no a grid konum via reform independent power producers nom edema ECG so omumra meton ya Ghana for ya akromfo en Kania ni ye wia ye fa illegal means ewia en Kania no enti sika was a ECG for egie now we do independent power producers editua VRA editua your friends a grid ko no mo ka ka ho no esan Ghana for ya akromfo ntino sika no omunya enti ECG challenge e ka da ho no 68 billion Ghana cedis no it's not because of revenue mobilization but because of krono ya Mahamadou Bik nom Mahamadou Bik afenyo marking Napo the last time no be catches Napo man not to talk as ma because si can wonya ne kwa and can we imagine say vote be yo mu twagu mi ko mu timi wie mu a and can Napo ya Ghana vice president such a wicked criminal person like Napo such man bofo to say Napo what preside armed creating armed robbery institution energy ministry armed robbery institution e dia robbery Ghana for no mu wi ma ka kire Ghana for say ye Ghana for ye ya akromfo ye Ghana for ye ya akromfo $650 million container ayira sika mo jejidi free Ghana for ho en kania na matum bum na po mutum kania bum said de madwini elifie kwa me ne ma me kon madwini elifie mutum kania bum anda MPP president Akufo-Addo Dr. Baumia na po mutum kania bum ti sa madwini ni fie ti se Ghana for ye moakere e wo fie ti se de Ghana for ye bia costo e wo ye fie eje Ghana for sika mu wi amaka kire Ghana for se ya akromfo ye wi ankanea enti ECG ya boy ECG ka Dr. Baumia ko bie Haptel e bokro no Haptel adwuma ECG akromfo ne betimi aye no kromfo tachi amonso ko bie Haptel e de bokro no enkanea na ye to no Dr. Baumia e ti ne percentage ewom kakra no so be kon Mahamadou Bik na ponom afenyo marking as board chair e approve procurement bia ECG beye afenyo marking procurement bia ECG beye bia na afenyo marking e approve $650 million Azra e wo Ghana ha sei containers no so nyase o mu import so o mu hia di beye bibia o mu hia di amfa meye bibia na poda so ne nam ho afenyo market parliament say you know all friends so your content creator and they say the sana social media ma trudi so your content creator such a joke at a parliament na wo ye dede na wo tietiem na wo kansem hunu e de kire Ghana for na ordinary Ghanaian e sofa na Ghana ni e sofa na Ghana ni e sofa na mu wia Ghana for na mu wia Ghana for mu bokro no enti ono ya friend say no kan bi no Canada Japan no kan bi no ya man ye contract street light over $100 million Now no say MPP for Bokro no as if there's no tomorrow. As if say Ochina anywhere MPP for Bokro no as if say 7 December will never come. So imagine say a year change of government and a bad year and kasa krono we say no under MPP Dr. Baumiano akwati helped abedi president na order so ebo krono Napo one a private a year no so daily energy sector ho no a vice president na obo krono na ECG managing director ho na wotoa so na wo mo bokro na afemio marking eda so ye ECG chairperson board no na omguso na wo mo bokro na wo maka kire wiase sa Ghana fo ya akrofo ye wianka ne ye ntuaka. Can we imagine Ghana fo ye akrofo ye wianka ne ya ye ntuaka enti ECG boka Sebe ya kura Chief Justice be kwakura na chese President Mahama mu kura firi adwuma se sebe ya Chief Justice be kwama President Mahama mu kura firi adwuma se because ensam na ye tetetete no ya ye tietie budu ani enyan Peter Dwamewu so na wo hakwasi ata omu nyina ye be che wo me kwana me Benjamin Sia Executive Secretary Center for Environmental Management Sustainable Energy akwakasa e dia fa enura report ya ba abonte no ho anke be na wie Mahama akwaba Edi eba citizen show so. Na apom ti say.
Na me dia tell ba do na wan say.
Enya boko kra. Nsam no yate ani enye ankejo enye be na nya yize wa Ghana ha o. Se wan ka se wa hu de wa Ghana fo ye su afanka ne aboa ye tua ho.
No pre.
So hu ti se ekokoda ne ye bebe ti say ECG containers 1350 ayira de free tema haba on say hadwen. Okay, report no when you be.
Yeah, I think that ministry no make a report no public, but I want to make certain comments out of the report. MIA who be a force so temahabo, but West be a minister ni use na mfezanka. Any one so uses those words. For example, so who be used to create a message no. Iranaira a chrono no viable because we had the 10-year term habit here. We had the various stakeholders are more sure to be clear goods our term habwa. Near money to me, because first of all, product no say goods no crano a code demorager for Judiciary terminal, and a Judiciary terminal is also a national security terminal. It is a national security terminal. Na say yesi bibi ayira obi antimi nko national security terminal enko for bibi saakwa. So it's an organized crime. Various stakeholders involved and omawia.
Hello. Oh, Kwame Mesro Akatemu sampele mamni entwaso. Na kire say adana ye cartel. First ni ye ka say President Akufo-Addo ate cartel na nkorfo ante cartel na se enti se dia dia no kurate no che say ye cartel national security na nkasa kwa no ye involved in this scandal enye missing container ayira container etufa awiem container etufa awiem Missy Bibi akra de ye me ya ne se na wo mo ka kire se ECG enkane no ho e na Ghana fo wi ankane Ghana fo wi ankane elo anke ben ye nto aso e ka te land
Judiciary terminal a national security installation international security officials or Judiciary and officials especially custom division almost more and sana other ancillary service providers almost more terminal in the Jumae Fui and I say a cool Muya Moe, as not a containers, me Rafa, Odrewa, I think that Omunina Kambumu and Omuya containers, no, and a more ton containers and assigned in my ECG, even though the first report is a technical aspect, which is basically quantitative investigation, which is kind of auditing, but qualitative, beginning say be interrogate the various stakeholders say be hu say omina kabomu anywhere these containers and almost toma ECG. That is what I believe in, because goods na yeka ho asem no were made specifically for ECG. On specification, the ECG na final destination. Any open market goods. And any ankra the bit me aton goods. The distribution lines are ECG ne Netco a major consumers of distribution lines. You know, ankra into cotton distribution lines be 1,350 or more the bay one a better. We are no free ones who are say even box supply point transformers are a bibiano were made specifically for ECG. You know, syndicate and as a organized crime unity or more temahabo in ECG for a Canada no munina kabumuna or movia these containers a cotton or moton no and almost ECG cotton because at the end of the day no, because ECG is the end beneficiary no. Or beside ECG, send them one sign to you, and we should not be saying they are missing. It's just clear case of theft. A chrono and Nipanabo. It is the chance as a chrono, if I'm a near Bray, am I investigating? Or more this dream, and act boni, they are more in face Mrano.
Okay, not just as yet, yeah. Containers in Entimin 2 Ferry. Enti ECG no, omo boa pesi wano mwa na adeno. Yenya duty ntia na akodi marriage ekwa na chese oman na bana confiscate na oma ton e de ama nkrofo bi na nkrofo na sa nso ECG asa fechira kwa akoton.
Yes, so for example say the marriage na say aban confiscate here na say aban ka say auction ECG and I was say aban ni kasa first, because I was only ECG din komo say ECG oniema na ode ba ya wantimenti ho duties no me auction o wo sika obetima betua utia me de bema so woni sika me de bema ni pafofo nti se ECG ya ahwehan ama these niema yi asa kodi ni pafofo ntam na nim se boa pa they also supporting it say yes yentua fama ni pafofo na sa ni pano nsa beton mayen aboden na emayem omine moka, because adwuma na nya dia omine dia se boka omine be priska akotua na ayeka se ECG ka 8 billion yi say workers no more no more for who your mind also this is a clear case of organized full scale criminality which involves customs. Like Commission of Customs must be aware, even if say auction crana Commission of Customs is aware.
Uncle Ben transfer homame ECG a buying institution and ECG a important yamadiaba.
Yeah.
Enti ECG yema wamu duty na so omo ntimi ntwane si won ma aban esa confiscate aban ade.
Oh sir, aban ntimi confiscate because the aban be yakra na was obo ECG nkai so be ye nti na me ka se me de me kasa na sha afie se enis man se ye ka se ayira.
Okay,
that be enye haye obi na aye bibia or bia wa yi akoton one of the one which is a clear case say obi nso na atamakoton a e customs Commission of Customs are not all abra sa gusi eiraye no e wo say ne ye friend na investigate no GRA officers or more terminals so national security operations are more terminals so ECG workers are munim this particular procurement once no e wo say investigate obi ani hu say why na man ne money free terminal ho say bonded warehouse ho say bonded warehouse ho say any terminal why na man ne money free ho who gave that authority e man ne money free ho sa nipa no e na se bi oye konfo so sa nipa no so ma sa authority na why ne e ne kan ho bi a omutimi clear ne money free sa ho no no e de buy who is even the transporter ben e ne carry ne money free this bonded warehouse or what terminal ye kan ho asem e de ba bontin or the ba bontin why na je private person be na je why na toy but me I know say e den anuema ya ye kan enyira e wo ECG warehouse omo sheda ekukuye so that at the end the ECG will buy it at the expense of state nti na o minor boka na nipa ba akumienu bi a omo ECG omo customs division of the GRA nipa ba akumienu bi omo national security they benefit or maybe obi nso ana o 2 million mo other Jubilee House and so benefit. So that is that criminal syndicate no more form here to just steal. Any question
say yeah can say dia energy minister wo ho ECG say energy ministry ase
no correct
and aside and also kra no ECG board of directors no say chairman so say na ye kan nyina no ono so nka because procurement bi e be kosu bia no say e was say board no so approve ana me boa board chairman a sanction
yeah okay
enti ye kan say ya enya container ba ku mienu miensa enan ena nya se bia container no kra de esi woni mu aye empty nya ka se bia ha bo hono na na yakwa yi mu niema eye container 1350 ena ye ka ho asem sajira enti ebetimi akase ye betimi hold sa empanifo we say so responsible energy minister managing director no was ECG and then board no ne wo chairman no. And I said, yeah, what kind of customs for now? One more have a one and penny for a woman, you bet me, hold you more responsible for Sadia. We say, no, I
think that the main investigation, I had a qualitative one, police in the Besha, and I said, the ministry in the initiative, a bit revealing a convoya or movie, all these containers, ecoton. And I think that a conforming in Besha, the Ministry of Energy, maybe probably. The Jubilee House Beka home, Judiciary Beka home, and National Security Operatives are almost more Temahono, Beka as well as the board and also the MD and workers of ECG. Omunina Beka because 1,357 containers here, Nipo Baku Nisa Kukuduno, MD Nisa Kukuduno, so bet my Sergimano. Commissioner General Nisa Kukuduno, so bet my National Security Operatives Nisa Kukuduno, Nipado and a Nipado so be watching. Nabia and no free Jubilee House. But it's early days yet. We are the main investigation about any or more or more eka homa ye boss akron Ghana kron.
Okay, Uncle Ben, say you didn't come bebre. If ECG mobilization choir or mobilize it or musika. Yeah, a do baby I can say ECG nya short force because and can no service your friend is a providers need them via a grid independent power producers edema woman. Omo kwakoton a ebi jira endisika e waso omu nya no omu nsentimi nka such revelations be say ensem be say eba out a ye betimi akase sika nkasa ECG eje omu kwakoton kane na wo mo gie no se omu se omu de ye omu ho adwuma etua ka ya esefata enka ye benya ka bebre say e de agu honom ka ye be complain so much say enkrofo awia illegal connection ti na ema ECG enya short force eboka.
Well, yeah, it depends because already no omuntumi engine do mu I think based on our system no omuntumi less than 60% of expected revenue also munya.
But Uncle Ben metiasie there's a 50% no so what share na we say ya no anu kakranka containers ho nsam ye keka there are other things one mama ye num say 50% na ECG kura edge no say ko mu sin ko mu use mu kura be say 40% ya Uncle Ben ti kan say ECG be ye kakese say energy sector be kakese say yes wo.
Okay, I think that mra e was in the ECG using Shikamo especially from 2023 mra no encheda nyamra but it has been a convention based on advice at World Bank at the IFN cash waterfall mechanism. And ECG no na nisika na ogeno obedia wie no na scanner was a big cover bia anti onu am not to be I think what almost 500 million Ghana cedis that wo busumi bia edit juma. Nti no ma de manage nisika nti onu ntimi emfa ne kokumu anani pem enti sika no boom emfa nya de also de. But the emphasis me change na say ECG problem no these frivolous procurements and so can the liabilities especially na me catch sister station that the liabilities as at 2021 na about 23 billion Ghana cedis but liabilities as at 2024 68 billion Ghana cedis between 2021 to 2024 only 3 years no ECG triple the liabilities and no sure say or fa pepa kwan boni bi so di sika ni kwan so odi wa fa kwan boni so bobosun ni kwan so obo wa fa kwan boni so jaka bitu and one of these instances near because my understanding of whatever is happening at ECG is Sa containers I say ayira ya me say e krono die e den ya omotoma ECG omotoma ECG a anhwa na wantimantu ani manimu ya wantimantu ani when cash flow comes on to me forfeit that particular cash flow wantimantu ani manimu ha no na e kire say eno so be kan liabilities so nti u be kom say the liabilities now jump from 2021 2022 to 35 billion 2023 to 47 billion 2024 to 68 billion no be kom na sa krono die we no e ka ho omo sheda etoye so that yantimantu akwa na aban aban betua e na make sure say eni kwan say minister ne ka say ayira e ye krono and say krono a yen start investigate nipa na okasa krono hu yi na ye mamra ni so that ebema ayashen so dia na say jinabia obi bia so obenya akwanya so obe manage any of these state owned entities no be na juma ye so that emfaka emre o mind.
Okay me da se awie yo abusuafo ya wa sembo ni po kwabena ba ho okay se Ghana fo be kaya kwabena akansem wei ekwan ya na Jubilee House presidential staffers area containers nkrofo niema sa abrekwa na ECG de meka ho nkrofo cars ne nkrofo niema na presidential staffers area onse me ne anka ba kasa no woka bibi se Jubilee House wana ankasa kora no yan starting free presidency president Akufo Addo nkrofo me sa kana na kwabena bobi ansa kwabena area ma han
majoso mini aba ya odoso
denu ne minu aba na didi kan so didi kan yede
wo hwe asem ni dentia
no wo be ka ya odo afa de ode kwanam no ya de kwanam no eno ne de he se de
ni dentia
ada wanya appointment ana
so me makacho some appointment na say me twum appointment ni sensen kakra
honorable
me sensen kakra me say masia kwakofa honorable
asa said da no catch him say e say the honorable no wasa afa ho eti ebusuafo honorable kwabena bobi ansa na minister extraordinaire ma pebi ama
mo so wa pebi ama no wa pebi ama me as say ya yo na yo
honorable nti me da se me nsa ka wa wie na de on say me no kasa honorable nkomodie ne e kasa it should be professional. Yes, oh, you're honorable. Eti,
Mr. Wo, me me bomb attack said you me famra. Sro.
Eti honorable. Enkomo ya be to dwan na me kire kwa me say yemfro because what na ha kan prepi. Kwan ya na presidential staffers presidency enkrofo gu president Akufo Addo aboboa no a na omo ebokro no ewotemahabo etu hwe enura energy minister Napo ensem ode abetu dwa se containers 1355 ECG ajira kwabena eno ho nkomo eyo anwa saa
nana mamentia na mentia atiefo ene wahwefo a omo ehwe wo CTV ne other networks but nana quick one dedi kind of mame enne anopawi me sending message Emma energy minister honorable Napo Emma no me prompting on some few issues I think make me know what mobile
okay
and you no count questioning
okay.
But me say me start free
okay
me prompting over communication and said almost communicate over the matter that he should put clarity on it. 38% for now or margin say you be ye didi or madame a baby for station across for so Amori station come for what him come for so come for so it makes it difficult for people to notice who is the thief. Nana, I hope so you are following me.
Metia me do a cheaper kwabena.
Me catch there honorable Napo say on shena on put clarity on the matter, the missing ECG containers no onhwe no put clarity on it. Ehona na me BBC na no anko
onim me start kora no me so asa na me sukwa bra say me so bi nim kora say bi a onso wo issues with the way omo handle issues we because me so me kan last 2 weeks me born video bi wa hanom ya no wo kase 3000 containers ECG dia ewo aha and then na dey chen ya fe report about 2500 1000 wo ko social say dia wo kan MPP for na agina mu o say containers na tutu because we be catch say container no wo enti ade na mo ba 3 months ni containers na yira.
Yes, all say I don't know, but I think the 57% for NDC no dada so Eswatekura in 2018 na Eswatekura no it will come to be 54. Which I think they shouldn't go that way. Say mena me two omofwa. Me two omofo say ma omo enko saa we no. Governance yemfa to chacha. Yemfa memu ento chacha to say matra makwe. So there are some little mistakes you don't do it. And JM the last term okuni, right? As for ja legacy emu hwam. Eni kwa say omoma odi edimboni ekofie. Ana say NDC party no edimboni. Yeah, everybody affected the next flag bearer. So I wish Semina me to NDC for. And so we a little bit proactive now, more communication to the people no because I think Honorable Napo is either because what I heard me say on the fray Asempa FM4 say any other media houses say wakwa hu bibi into omo mra na on kan kire wo mo minim fu ayini nyina tape ni nyina timinim ase omokro no mu die so as to whether they are twisting the story and I say maybe honorable ntimi communicate I don't know which is which but this morning me prompte no say or and checking no put clarity on it.
Okay.
In any case, say in the conversation baby no or bosso about the previous government and MC media for no DSC. But you see then again a PR for at the energy ministry. They are supposed to do that research, then put out the proper communique. Now settle matters. You see,
Kwabna asem we kra no. Yemfre one radio station enka say ebia committee ye adwuma na report ndi. Kwabna say woye no, kwabna ofre press conference so ena media houses ewo ho.
No, but Nanama me Paucho Wadaroma. He is the minister. He decides who he wants to talk to.
Okay.
So let's give him that at least respect and say only decided who he wants to talk to. What you say, but my point is say there should be clarity on whatever, and I say as similar communicated Ghana for no, there should be clarity.
Okay.
No be arguing at sort of fine, but a substantive matter also.
Okay.
And now what is the issue?
Okay.
Containers, no. MPP for cry. If they do her around October, November, and they do Ghana 2024. Now, all Bonnie, all that are there a bar in trenches.
Okay.
And Buma must say containers 3,000 saying in Ababi Ghana. I don't know at the crab bar MPP for to say. And I'm in fancy ECG. Won't mean who at the property see your mujai at the NSA. So what I heard me say the last trenchment it be drew around October, November. And ye to aba. So I suspect Sena MPP for train say ye to aba yeah because ye say container munu eniemano omutimi yi cotton and says scraps e Togo. That is what I've heard. That omutimi yi container no e cotton mu niema ye say e mu niema ni bi wo ha e ye niema e ye rejected in Europe. But don't say me technical person. So even with that one okrano, senka energy ministry boa ye etre ye niema kra na wo container no mu a enke no so ebe boa pa na enke ye nyina ye tutututu ye ni ye hu bi wo ba bia ye buso ni pa kron sa de we wunya firi hin. But me ko so no ye to aba ni wie ye pe ena MPP for no a MPP for no a eye wo mo a ena edi sa abone no ye MPP for no a na edi sa abone no won se na ma se de okan no medical catch us say wo mu wie ankrofo cars opa bi phone line too na e friend krofo a MPP boys e whatever e wi a wo mo cars wo mo do wo metu manfo e wi ankrofo cars container ni e CV Upa be a certain conform go through that trauma and they will tell you. In the MPP for one shall say, or more tree at the end at the accord. One will say, make cancer me tell. When MPP won in 2017, the following week, now a Kufado, a ye Kandapa, the security team, and they were on the neck of the NDC. But NDC really way, you know, it took them some time to take control of those areas, ports, and other strategic installations. It took them some time. Some of us, on the quiet, we were worried. So, I didn't wait more Chinese side, but you see, NDC always tries to obey the right thing to allow transition. Say ebe koso boko yemfa gidigidi nko pamnipa odi ase me bobie de me pe gidigidi no oni MPP ni ka asema ene ne nka ne boko debi no me minister approach no for an MPP person. However, we share said the President Mills no sitie now he said the JM sitie and in actual sense transition that is how it should be. That the two abana be obeying until 7th, there should be some power in place. I want to air today. But when you said the Onipa Bibini, Onipa MPP, Nagnity. So some of us were of the view that Charlie won't take control 10 months, Sana Adiano Ategya. And no more change January 7th. So until January 7th, you know. The MPP people were in charge of Ghana port. Ye swear in Justice Napo every year. JM on the 7th. Me pacho it did not say and son ye swear in Jinapo. Jinapo nye ending of January no mu ena omubo ni din. And son no baba swear in.
O convert ni ade akoso. O
convert omo be swear in. Omo swear ni win ye nya afi no mbe yi airport security head yi GPHA CEO. Until NDC for appointing omo nkrofo no. Na here for na ehwe. Enya bi before na na ho. Na nya bi before na na ho. Time be na Jinapo beka asem ne kire February mu na obe complain ye meboa February mu na Jinapo beka say wakọ airport. That was latter part of February and obeka say wakọ port no ko no containers ne say 3,000 plus or something.
3,000
I said 3,000.
The first I said 3,000 containers.
And then later, I am so because say to I'm so coca.
Nanu year in work as a 2,500.
I think so. So those you see the problem when you start giving out inaccurate figures. You allow your opponent to start pointing accusing fingers at you. And that is what I discussed with my brother this morning. But as usual, unim nyansa and kaos we minister nibi. Inti bia de yeye beka no sebe eye nkwasi asema wo mo. But when you are not able to put your thoughts together, when you are talking to Ghanaians, and you say minister, you are talking to 38 million people. What do you say? 10 million about them, na 20 million in Nyansa. You can't tell us to just take anything and say what can we in funny here near poor much I'll say. But say no. Also, what can be brave now or my offended? Into no Diana is a Jaya or Mona or Cosa. But in this matter, you don't give inaccurate figures. Even when we would they just relax. But make sure when you are touching on the figure, because minimum say honorable call a report one. Answer na be call no. Omo briefings bia amount including say ade we say who anything contrary to a figures the amount no you ask them say okay your report say enema say ni buy what the figure say na amaye dia can no way. In fact Honorable Napo as at the time I call the first visit to port no can say 3,000 containers no. Nana ma ne bia yira wo ne bia yira na niema ne bi ko da. I'm telling you ne bia yira. So I'm wondering why Mr. Jinapo and me put that information out. However, ebia no more investigations, because some of these things immediately you touch on it, you also allow opponent no emo say omo cover omo tracks into semetinasi. But I started asking myself
because container said you okay no yeah eba year October September October 2024 not few months bare 2-3 months to the general election, then after election so this stories from 3,500 then later 2,500 by 3,350 anjirano enti your friend support hono no ye ni CCTV cameras wo ho customs for na wo mugu hono no wo mo nso e wo hefa well investigation ye investigation because
ye ninti na make catch you say ye me say meti e ho asem ansana yewura Jinapo ekoho memete ho asem se ne mabi sa ayira afri ho enti ne ye me nwanwa say Owura Jinapo was aware say enema ni bi ayira ansana okoho enti time of boss say container say no okoto ye no eya one more de ayira no so no ne ma ye a little bit confused
I want asem ne one no because kwabena say
adan na owura yi one muscle but and America say me say ba dwene hu bi o say e bia no mo ye investigations enti na on pese wode ne ma ne bi betu dwantentem saa e sa na ma eyeme but still me wo how kakra e wo how that office ne e communicate asem e ma public me wo how kakra wo ho. It's my opinion. Probably ebia for investigations we'll come to understand where Honorable Jinapo is coming from. But for now, you see, you don't give room to your opponent. No, we say omo na yes hadi no. Nanama, yeswe in the bay, ye Honorable Jinapo da bay, or convert in the bay, yeswe in the bay, or start office da bay. Da bay ni NBC omo port head of security. Tambe no mo yi no. Now who took over GPAT? Take when when you check, then ask yourself, say, into within 1 week, Peno, on between the assessor containers 1,350. And I even saw your friend say, Omo Akosia Menu, Omo MPP for no Lady Bakon, and he post. Yeah, what I say, containers, it is impossible. So, 1,350 no, within a short period, it's impossible. It's almost as if we are at the end. And sana omo babe lose election. Omo lose you know. Sa gap 1 month never there no. And the boss operation no. And yes, 1 month gap no. And no because
then Kwabena ebeya me nwanwa say after 7 December ya MPP lose election no. NDC so ensu timi tina ho no mo hyehye dem knowing very well say nkofrenya boni obedi ensu tina ho no mo hyehye dem aso so wo ntimi amboban e wo portuma after election so mo nsu timi wi abisa
wutie me kasa nu a me ka kire o me tire o time a Akufo-Addo eyiyi ni security
president okay
in 2017 opa ma kwame en checking out onyima na be hwe time a ora afọ no eya GM eyi wo mo no na omunye in charge of security no omunye in charge and nipa 5 a GM be yi wo mo after ora no so no that is Oga Prosper Bani COP Kofi Buache any other security as now obeyi wo mo no e put you wo mo together no. Some for now they don't have any mandate. So minimum coordination of course was any 5 or 6 now you know. Minimum the kind of coordination. And I make us say on the quiet, some of us were worried. But as well, Onipaba Abemua no assessor. Into unflow be crying or fat. Now I catch and say, look. Ade say na koso ntina say ujira nchen say spectator na uhwebi and some of us kept on complaining say gabu no ababetom no omo hwe ni yo gabu no omo ababetom no krofo we bechichire nema wo form agya no ho ama benya problem and I know now the president and his people they are asking the question how come what happened. How come? What happened is that uja gap na uja no ehun sunsanso ni bi ni gap na uja no but as usual the beka cho say dey na wuni ebi na obi nim bibi eya ye nim but ye mu bi dey ye ti asem no ye ti asem no before ko mo be in JM sa ade a ekoso e wo port woni nkrofo no bogadama omu bontwimfamu so as you rightly said minim say Honorable Napo beje CCTV tapes no matese ne asem na okan bibi say omu nhwe yie na investigations report no ba bonto obi ama meka say which happen which I know me say MPP for beka dwam e was ade we wo de oto wo be and even if we don't take care, some custom officers at the port, because 1,350, they have stolen it. That is MPP person for you. But that Honorable Napo communication, and then NDC ni be friend commander say na baby yan krofo ya sha see free and wo mo wi containers na me why na catch us NDC ni be wi container why na catch us NDC ni be and wo hu no so wi container so mo say MVP for say gina pro e ba e no ano e na ko hwe ye na 3,000 and as you see, no abeka 1,500 ira
report no say during transition period report the ma Jinapo no say 3,000 but official a year was starting adwuma wo hu ye ne say enye 3,000 na 2,500 and na ote committee no investigation no and afa na che say wa hu say even 2,500 1,350 a year.
I think say port for by ansa na obeka figures no.
Yeah, because what can be what parliament can be so or other so say
no the first mentioning about that ECG containers no and the first visit to GPH. Oh, not to say in collaboration to what you are saying, no, which means say and you man be brewum said you will going to say during transition time no and one of the figures in the man or come port one and I'm passing a 3,000 because they say no in the first visit to the port and come on Ghana for D and I am a kuramu and in the figure of born or parliament and in the later revelation said 1,500 a year.
The first transition after the first visit 3,000 worker me on the second committee you report you na meet 2,500.
So the point is in the Senkorabu Jinapo eka 1,350 na irano ena ma ni clear say oh you take it over no figures na the buy no you who say 1,350 ena ayira every mu under the previous administration and we are setting up a committee to investigate. Case closed. No matter. Actually, it just tato baby I boko. But you are dealing with a party like MPP. You don't communicate anyhow. You don't do it. There should be clarity. As some way in America, can you? Yes, you are dealing with normal people. You expect them to understand their work. You are doomed. And I make a
okay.
And this may be firm. Or tete, more high. You know, come on. And I'm saying, so Mudi MPP for Kasa here. But in politics, Nanama, don't discount propaganda. No, original po. Meaning, ya juma we ya chepa. Only what propaganda can do.
But propaganda no meaning say what the document no about out propaganda ni nyina yenim say etu obetwa because you know
empire ne yebo martin statement waka say report no be we am obi mekanchi obi say which hunting but me say make me catch 100% say MPP for omo beka e was ade we mu no you be shocked one more beka any omo customs for no omo yes adie no you be shocked omo beka enti na obi antamu chuku obi anya abofre
okay kwamna
I know say bia communication no and a bia anko yi
okay
but trust me boni ankofu even 1 month omo ko then within 1 month no na omo tuatua a contract no mo tuatua ankofu sika basa na na ma wonkai
no credit.
Within 1 month, no more transition, no more, no more. Etia and Crofosi boom. Omo young kwasia payment. And yes, I time na sabi obia wo no watimi awia excavator container 40 footer. Obia watimi awia container 40 footer.
Okay.
Watimi awia excavator awiabo. Yesusa no asante mampon ye fresh aka na awiabo. Wa awiabo. Was container 40 footer. One day will be back see the betting no back see the betting no heja.
What they say? Okay.
The number young kind.
Okay.
And the mechanic say omu tie ya. You best say omu communicate ya. Omu put a clarity on it. Sebe ya NDC for no so kwa bond no mu church asem no a. Ombetimi actually mu yi and almost something.
Okay.
Where ya chopper. Yes, Romo, we are ya woman.
I dear chopper, none of them.
Woman,
Martin.
Omo no kra mic no. Omo no kasa yiti. And you need your matem yesra omo.
We're talking about two different eras. We're talking about two different eras. Professor Mills time, you know. One say there was agitation about the judiciary.
Okay.
Say the judiciary wasn't or President Akufo time they weren't playing neutral and a little bit of suspicion. But the people of Ghana at that time, Afro Barometer, wasn't that very low about the judiciary. The Professor Mills decided that he's going to do reforms in the judiciary. But reforms, yes, he tried to make sure that more court, more judges, he never attempted to what? To
touch any of them.
He never attempted even to increase the number of Supreme Court judges. I'm saying he appointed only two, Sofia Akufu. Sofia Akufu. In another
I think you were
Puaman de we no appointing no. Joma no appointing no. In a one PT and the time Professor I'm only 2 or 3.
Okay.
No because he wanted to respect, even though the Constitution does not give the limit of the Supreme Court. He realized that at least the Supreme Court should be in a certain manner and here overstretched, over-bloated, and also avoided politicalization of the Supreme Court or the court system. Fast track, the last 8 years, the perception of the judiciary in Ghana has been very, very low. People have totally lost confidence in the judiciary. Into Afro Barometer at that time, even National Security Advisor.
This man,
Kendapa. Also, make a statement. We say, if the judiciary to bring crisis to the country.
Yeah. Okay.
If a whole National Security Advisor will make that statement, it's just a problem.
It was as a result of the way the cases were going.
The case
of the government.
Every time 9-0, 8-0,
yeah.
a basket.
I remember.
What else here? Until the people of Ghana, elections, one of the pledges promise was that about judiciary, we are going to make sure that they become neutral and they become arbiters, so everybody will have confidence in them. It's CCR, someone, and you NDC for in your muddy petition.
Okay.
And you NDC for. And when you have people like my brother, individual Ghanaians, I feel there's something must be done, or more complaints, no more the petition. It's NDC as a party has got the right. So you decide this you have a petition. We've got the right to do it because we are in a country. We are all here. We know what. But NDC for you BBR. Into questions say I didn't think no. NDC perform me at the appropriate time. We will know who they are. But since what has happened is that the petition bar normally if it doesn't affect the Chief Justice, the petition or say the petition no matter Chief Justice. No set up the committee wait there because it affects Chief Justice. The law is different. Per Article 146 clause 6. I was saying you refer to Council of State. And Council of State in consultation or deliberation of the President who have to establish a premier facie. And Sana government by President in consultation with the Council of State or more form 5-member committee to look into it. In this year, NDC there won't come president and all that he has done is a conveyor belt. The idea man, no, they are come appropriate bodies. It is a Council of State in their wisdom. Now we can say some idea bano. If I should be anymore, matter die.
Okay.
So Omuba no must be woman. and then the process will kickstart.
Okay.
And yeah, NDC phone ya boy team Paul say yeah koye chief justice. Obia you know, open all the petition court today be petition call. Maybe a petition call, and they look into it. That is where the situation is. Here NDC no the petition call. Some 3 individuals, but there are conditions of how to remove a chief justice, or whether the competence of the chief justice, the what they call it, or sound mind, all those things. Into petition, I don't know that whether the petition captures all the ingredients that will make a case to be established.
It has merit or
merit. We don't know what is in the petition.
Okay.
So we can't. And at this moment, I've been to settings and I've desisted from discussing the what nots, the why and the do's of why the petition. Because I don't know what is in the petition.
Okay.
I don't know what is. When they open the Pandora box, that is when we can come and sit here and interrogate and say, I'm passing. Minua Obamasoma one day apart. I Obamasoma. I have to prove say this day and this day Obamasoma, and then we take it from there. But until that stage, you know, it is 3 Ghanaians who are yet to be known, who have sent a petition to the president, and the president has graciously sent it to the Council of State for them to deliberate, and then we move on from there. If there's something that has to be looked into, then the Chief Justice will have to step aside for the process to take its course.
I don't know, President, the petitions no 3 no ama Council of State no. I was say Council of State ni year you may no establish that prima facie against her now. And when I was say be a team step aside. Wow, sir, Council of State year you man also step aside.
Yeah, that's what that's going for. The president can suspend it.
Wow, Council of State year you man. Okay.
No, I said Council of State here, Juma. So almost is a premier facial case is established.
Okay.
Now you're forming 5 member committee. 2 of them should be Supreme Court members, and then the other should be ordinary person. My brother here can be called to any ordinary person or once they can choose you to go and be part of it.
Okay.
God, Charles says, he was part of the team. Meaning that you football.
Oh no, on your lawyer.
Or a banker.
Okay.
Or a banker. Then he was part of the team that decided about Charlotte says. Yeah.
Okay.
Until that is when the president has the prerogative to suspend her, and then the process goes on. Until it's early days yet.
Okay.
I think that's some
but Crawford who say more opposition no and near who do be a course with judiciary ni mu a na mo bo anyo so judgment bi no ne Supreme Court interpretations bi ni ade hono mo a Chief Justice ni posture ni demeanor any ne ma bi course a mo bo anyo so nti mo kura no before mo beba power kura no na chese mo mpe na adwuma
me ahyese me ka cho say oyo no ma bi a as a party no we kicked against it, and on our platform no we can't say about judiciary no we are going to reset it as a government. We will reset the judiciary but I'm saying that at this particular moment of time no even to me and say NDC for no more yet. I don't want you to go to that line. Even though we have reservations let us wait to know Sanko for me and Sanwa or more the petition. Let us go obey the petition, but we have to know the person. It cannot be a faceless person. At the appropriate time, no, the reasons and all those things will be known to the public because it must be transparent. So even though we had reservation, no, I told you earlier, I said NDC has got can also get up and do a petition. But we haven't done it.
Last time I was in the Weasel TV, right? And there was one gentleman that interviewed him that he said he has petitioned the president concerning the Supreme Court the Chief Justice. I don't know. So someone, a very young guy.
So it can be
hoping that they would
listen to it. So it's anybody. Until that one, the reservation, they say about interrogating what happened in the last 8 years. We will be prejudicial.
Okay.
What I say, that's why I don't want us to go there. Well, because Rebecca can say, and we here, we are not the right people to interrogate it.
Okay.
But when they open the Pandora box, when you invite me, I can come and also add my little wisdom to what is taking place.
Okay.
But so there were two different eras, Professor Mills and Mahama period. No, even though the judiciary at that time no had challenges, no, it wasn't so obvious. Whereas in this instance, no. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, because Obi and NDC say, Sir President Kufuor to me appoint to Obi to 2007, and the NDC buy no keeping for 8 years, 2 times. What has changed?
Yeah, the perception now. The
because Chairman, Sir President Kufuor Enka and I'm more appointed will be that 2008 2009 kwa ba na ko be make sure say the panel
oh baba ko say oh you need your but we maintain it. That's what I'm saying. Since here we have Professor Mills time na this time no maybe wa say be ka among 40 in person obi ti o ka che say ne oh chairman betna studio or can we abem them say let us look at the preamble and let us look at the constitutional provision. Is that being followed? That is where we are now. Is President Mahama following the constitutional provisions? The only people who can determine that this thing must go on they are the Council of State. So let us.
He has referred to them.
He has referred to them. So let us wait for them to come and tell us. I'm sure by next week or 2 weeks, we will be a triple petition. That is Kwekwa Nancy in the web, no.
That is the anger of Ghanaians.
That's anger. Baby, what do you think?
Salazar was just one petition.
One petition.
Now we had a petition party.
It shows
the anger is serious.
It's serious.
Okay. And see, are you going to remember Bemba and Sana? May share Council of States members aside regional representatives. Not Ghana for one who says, Sabi, and yet. Enkorabi keke.
Yes.
Ena ekwakwatena sasem wesisu. Wuyi regional reps no every so a. Enti ya were prominent individuals be to say retired Chief Justice Sophia Akufo. Ya Ghana for nimma me said we sit here.
Speaking her mind.
Former Chief Justice. Ya ono ne de waka no no so wako no. Enye so akwa akoye ayi.
Oyo kan.
Onimra no
so. Ena ma me no so no adwuma no shoes no wa shebida.
And Mammy Juma under header.
Into onim
Tokonu Ayajuma under Chief Justice Sophia Kufu.
I think so.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think after any boy.
After Sophia any boy nearby. After any boy Mammy
Tokonu Abba. Okay.
At what time was he appointed to the Supreme Court?
Akufo do appointing to the Supreme Court.
But we don't know whether Sophia met her in court.
When Sophia was there, she was there.
And intimate to us, former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu, retired Inspector General of Police Muhammad Ahmed Al Hassan. Okay,
another professional.
Now, President Mahama, IGP. Okay, or no, so can be. And after so retired Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Michael Samson Oji,
former Eddie Camp to. President, former president, and president, now president.
Okay. So I was so President, National House of Chiefs, or Dia Yao JB, the second into original traditional authorities. No, and almost Ekahu Ebi Ensuni, a retired judge, Justice Vida. Amankwanua Akoto Bamfo. Oh, okay, Justice Akoto Bamfo. Okay.
Akoto Bamfo, 2012 election, right?
Akoto Bamfo
petition.
Professor Mills no appeal court.
No, but what I'm saying that Akoto Bamfo was part of the petition court. The petition case in 2012, right?
Okay, election petition.
Petition.
Okay. And the offense or Sabari Makwesiata, the second was so. And da Sibra Boa Madako, Dako, and so I was Subi. And Cletus Avoca, former Speaker of Parliament, Edward Do Ajao, on a chairman.
Honorable Cletus Avoca, Apule was former MP of my constituency.
Why?
Zibile.
Okay. Cletus Avo.
Yes.
Okay. Eti ena say ma kan former speaker of parliament Edu Ajaho wana oye chairman. Ena afen so HLH Mankpawura Japa Acho Ade Vandotrasa. Ono so ka ho bi. Dr. Eunice Brockman Emisa, Mrs. Betty Mold Idrusu, Ena Cynthia Komle Ajete, Mrs. Molly Enim Ado, na Sergeant Fuad the second. Enti se uhwe din ya mabuboyi a na chere se
elected member.
And then uhwe all the 16 regions.
Is a lawyer. Cletus Avoka is a lawyer. Betty Mold is a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Banfo Ado Akoto
Supreme Court judge,
lawyer and the judge. And Sophia Akufado. Oh, they have very professional. Yeah, very and very distinguished, standard people. Outstanding people. Yes.
I mean, how can we come and sit down? Though you have right to challenge what they say.
Of course, yes.
At least they are all human beings, but we are all human beings. But we share apart from the elected members, we are
elected members are Kudambo.
Oh, Akukudambo, but I'm sure all my presidents are appointed woman. We have former Chief Justice and then former Inspector General of Police. We have Betty Mudidrusu, Do Ejaho, and then National House of Chiefs President or Dia Womanuna, Womanua. Not just who say, and yes, I be and Kurebina, Equacotina, Sa Adiam.
I'm sure say there will be very professionals in their deliberations.
Okay.
If they're proven official, they will say it. If there's nothing, they will say it.
But you know, petition, no, any say the president, I handle their mark council of state, one council say, who Chief Justice, ya appointed on a Juma Yemu near dear, then change of government, aba petition, accordia fan hointy, yeah, Juma.
Okay, me chair a T4, and I have for. What I can say is that the president is just a conveyor. So such petition the president can never sweep it under his carpet. The president cannot also decide it unilaterally to say that if there's merit or there's no merit in it. And that's why the law is very clear. Finchim say on the Council of State. And so this Council of State, it will be all of them. Those that appointed, including the regional representative, they would together look at it and then make their observation. From there, that I think they can now appoint the 5 members that you talk about to sit and look at.
But aside, also your political, we a player.
Yes. Yes.
Aside the NDC for who ye na Jumaye muno, also who na Jumaye will send ye now handle cases, issues about your Supreme Court, your interpretation near the Dunsu say.
Oh, if you go out there to ask a T for any ordinary citizens, everybody will have their different views about the what do you call it? The perceptions they have about the Supreme Court as a general, and then to the head herself, which is the Chief Justice. One of the pictures or photos I saw about her, and people are throwing it in the social media that we are all watching, was when the last minute when Afiyoma, the then majority leader, ran to court, where the Speaker of Parliament, right Speaker of Parliament, had declared some seat vacant, and there was a saying that they didn't bring any application or petition to Parliament to the Speaker, and so the Speaker cannot rule it, and so making suggestion like if Mike had made because the law is he must exceed. They didn't cross carpet. It's true. At that time, the guy didn't cross carpet, and at that time he was contested. He was a sitting member. But he was saying the next election he would be contested, and there was no election that was conducted, whereby yet unity. And so if Mike did that, why would Bagwin did not wait for? And Bagwin said no, this is a procedure. And when they ran to court, we saw how the Chief Justice frowned his face on them. Their lawyers wasn't ready for them to speak. And then when after election, we saw the kind of, and I said, yeah, it's diplomacy. He has nothing done to do that, because whether you like or not, the president has been elected. You have to swear him in. He's coming to Parliament to do his constitutional performance. You have to follow. That is what. So that's why we have 3 arms of government. But as a person, we can also interrogate. Okay, he alone doesn't take decision. I don't know how the petitioners did their petition, but I think if I were to be one of the petitioners, I would think that all those people that sat in those cases should go, because it was unanimous decision. It wasn't all the decision by the Chief Justice. Although the Chief Justice was the one heading or presiding over that sitting, but the unanimous decision. I think there was one of the sittings. One of the judges also had his own opinion. Is that not it? Even my PNC case also went up to Supreme Court when they disqualify us at the 2024 general election. We end up at Supreme Court. When they listened to the case earlier, they were happy. When they went to the room and came back and there was a call, we were told that there was a call. They all came back and said unanimous decision. So you could ask yourself what kind of unanimous decision they were doing. But you know what? Today something substantial happened. I think that today there was a court. Are you aware? Did you follow up? The cases that EC recalled for a reconciliation. Anana, you didn't follow it. Today there was a big case. I don't know if it's true, but there was a big case in Supreme Court today, and they ruled that those Tema Central and those other Akakwe South or Akakwe Central, they have ruled that no, the EC didn't have that powers to change that decision. They've said it
after first declarations. No?
Yes, it has been. It was in court today. Yes, and I think there was only two consensus that they said it should be valid. Two consensus. I've forgotten the consensus names. It was only two consensus that the Supreme Court actually agreed that those should be valid. So Nana, when I heard your program this afternoon, I didn't hear that one. I was surprised because
baby, I may start to fear and I may ban in here.
So today you could see that Ghanaians, there's some refreshing in the minds of Ghanaians that hey, this Supreme Court have changed. So you see, Ghanaians want them to be the way they are professionals. They should be neutral. Whether Asake appointed a judge to the Supreme Court or Adekoka, I don't know if Adekoka and Asake appear before you, and it's me who even appointed you, and I'm not right. They look into my face and say, you are not right. That is what we expect our Lord to do. Not to think that because, and that is why they say that there are two arms of government: the judiciary, the executive, the legislature. And so the judiciary is the last resort anybody can go to. And so if I have a case with Adekoka, and I think that if I go, because Adekoka is well known, Adekoka maybe is well grounded in finance than me, Adekoka can go and do anything, and then even if his matter is not good, they will say his matter is good. Then I won't go there. But if they don't know, if you get there, whether you have money, you don't have money, you have name, you don't have name, they will preside using the Constitution, what the Constitution says. Then that means all of us know that no, that is the place we can go. So I think that resetting the judicial system, the judiciary themselves to peg themselves. They don't need anybody to come and say, I'm coming to reset, because you are independent on your own choice. But if you allow yourself for politicians to now come into your circles to decide what you should do, and not that you are there to protect, the Constitution even give you more power. You can even. And now they are going to be from Kwana. Because say the judiciary no what Timukura except even Omampia or Tikojaso. Because say Obi Omampia and I say Omampia who the last time Omampia swear taking the oath of office and oath of secrecy. There was at some point to say or breaching any of them he will suffer the penalties. And for our court, he will suffer the penalties. You must go to court. You must be tried. And so we expect that they should be neutral. But yes, and this somebody can go and fabricate something against the president, bring it to you, and then because already moon parent, you would have given a judgment that did not actually go through with the base of the law.
Yeah, because on say they are working, they are ruling here by Ebasa constituencies here issues working. Ghana need be any say. Senior change of government in a baya and ka court to be in one of my electoral commission ya no obey over. Unim
de omoye akono lawyer Edigi Democlo. He gets you some technical to knock out the MPP lawyer in court because they omono dika koe before MPP went. And when they went to court on that very day, their case was listed. The judge decided to leave that case and take the second. And he drew his attention. And he said, even their videos played with also Dabe. He went ahead. After he get his judgment finished, then he didn't come to take that case. That's why they also left.
Case in the crowd.
So that is why. That was the reason why they ought to say, okay, I say in court, Supreme Court. That took them to Supreme Court. So the judges themselves, the Lord themselves, there were 5 judges or so today. I think they were surprised. The question, you could see how they were interrogating Edu Boahen. I mean, the other lawyer rose up to explain. They said he should wait. Edu Boahen, and he gave the explanatory, and it speaks to itself. So today, people see that. So these people were men and women. So where were they? So I think that the judiciary themselves should have to peg. So that even tomorrow, if PNC also bring our case, they should look into us and say, look, yes, PNC is right, NDC is wrong. Even though you are in government, you should speak to power. That's why they're supposed to be neutral, and I expect them to be neutral. And so if tomorrow,
Chairman, Ekwaya who say, Ekwaya kodru baby, na Speaker of Parliament, any Chief Justice, Supreme Court, Akwaya Banta,
to say
because Emra Edahwanumwa, Speaker, ni predecessors, Edia Ye Juma, ni predecessor Kra, even say Professor Michael Quay, Edia Ye Juma, declare seat to be vacant.
The same procedure.
The same procedure. Also the year Juma. Chief Justice said Nuntin, your constitutional crisis.
Crisis, exactly. Until Parliament cannot be not running. What you say? So you cannot be a judge your own. You cannot be a referee and a judge your own what? Your own court.
Abungbabin or chair need to me. I said, why my judgment? Come and enforce it.
Exactly.
It will close the parliament.
I was saying after 16 December, and true. He never.
Well, these are the kind of things. One follow law, no, oh, you're partisan. That is where Obi, since Obi drop petition. Ojina baby,
not even partisan. When you allow politicians to sway you, to dance with them, they will come and disgrace. They will embarrass you. At the time they are embarrassing you, or the time you will be embarrassed, they will run away and hide. Today, if it is tomorrow, I'm not holding brief to Council of State, but if tomorrow the actual fund premium facet, you will go home. Afayamako and his colleagues will be there. Meanwhile, they've misled you. Which shouldn't be.
Because Senyasa Speaker, Senyasa Speaker, Jinan and Nice.
Yes.
Ghana Constitution and really the supremacy. And the Chief Justice and Kasam Marana. Ye use of Parliament, declare seat vacant, and was saying.
And the Speaker to he was shown the Speaker will not have value again.
Only power.
Oh no, yes. But at the end of the day, the Speaker has been is a wisdom guy. He said, okay, no system after 2016, December system. Started after election. After election, they take the remorse. Even Afayamako was the first person to even raise that they should reappoint. If they will not maintain Bagbin as the Speaker, then they should appoint somebody within them. Can you imagine? And the way he was attacking me that addressed me as majority leader. He said that chair, the spirit. So I can tell you quite clearly, for me, I think that we shouldn't discuss only the Chief Justice alone. Those judges who were also with him and they take these unanimous decisions should peg themselves. That is, if you get to the court, even if you were wearing MPP color, like they elect to some people who were appointed there. If you were, one of them was former MPP candidate. If you are a PNC candidate, like Palmer is there. Palmer was PNC, once PNC's general secretary. Yes. But I don't think that PNC take their case there and their case is not right. Palmer will say because I was PNC Kinchina, PNC must win the case. No, then you are not serving the nation well. You are not. I think at that time, if you get to Supreme Court, what it means is that you have the wisdom to sit down, even if your own child or your own wife or your own father appear before you, you are looking to the spirit of the Constitution and interpreting the Constitution. They are there to interpret Constitution. No, is that not it? Exactly.
Constitution, yes. And I say, Chairman, they were NDC 1992 Constitution. No. Sabi JSS new Kurakanya. Clear language. Enya dia obrana what's
Obia the powers. Parliament in more adeomo ye. state presidency executive omunimado omoye judiciary obi anam ni lane wo cross obi lane pe o di problem eba ensa na ye na cool na ni no mobile nti ti so bon ka say constitutional crisis no o create constitutional crisis because that time no say yes Ghana for ye koto aba na soje ni na mo gaza muntumi mbu by no ye je from because we cross the carpet and so now we pure I tell me neck say me boy Pandora box na me pure for the past 8 years no judiciary omo ama Ghana for ejidia ewo omo mu no efim that is why since ukoye referendum on the judiciary since I'm sure say it's Jesus onjina ho na man for to abama no you be surprised 1% the crap onya no nti me asama abe a lesson for all of us your more position bia go and work according to what the constitution says black red the moment some person be please another person no some you can asama offer no amba
please now was under constitutional crisis aba
and look at that time the court the way I treaty lawyers and the so because sorry
interjecting we shouldn't have been
no they be in
mafia mo pa o
it was not the best
just recently anasare me yaw case yanka say yedi case wa ha obi enya case wa ha say ni yedi na bia okonya the ohwehwe ruling justice ohwehwe wo ba bi no bia Ghana the system no nye but say wo hwe say defamatory issue case no involving Anas and then candidate Japan
na sama judge ne kai
yes
wa bia enye no na the court and yes as on the court was Anas a criminal or ye
have a quite a investigative terrorism and a warrior
and you America the reason why po onya kwan American court just say Ghana ni bi o America
interview we
or ye blocker or America no interview just what that gave him the opportunity to open a view because we defend more America into the car and Ghana some quite America
and that was why they tried within
what I say and then who was a honor common people jury no more and look at the outcome and see who baby sound say are we in a different world
because in some corona na o kan wo Ghana ha no and some corona na wo kan ya no a wo fan some corona bi no na copy America court
that shows we must do something about our judiciary obia pe say Ghana democracy both all the three arms of government are strong otherwise no this country no we chaotic into me Kenja some council of state no someone bekano no kwane woman papa na woman ebefa bone woman so next time no going forward no we'll correct it
that is why the Supreme Court judges they pay them well they give them all security protections they are not supposed to be mingling with you and I so they have their private. That's how they treat them that way, so that they will not be tempted for someone to influence them.
You know, and yet, sir, interview way. Chairman, person monitor or Kwame. Kwame, I drop it, Mr. Safri and Mamina. You seeking clarification from.
So I think that it is not for me. It will serve all of us right.
Who did say ruling a free US buyer? Say Waba, okay Waba. I was for Dr. Tanko Rashid Computer. Abba, Deputy National Director of Elections, NDC. Yeah, I'm finding new appointments. Yeah, no count. They say level don't change. Dog, Hello, dog. What's As I say, level don't change.
Who can say na mystery? Yes, na mystery. Because and then me walk court, me court Supreme Court, no. So say there were cases, different cases. There was Supreme Court, no. Hello.
Mpacho yeti o mete wonka.
Me see there were different cases. It was Supreme Court. First one there, Akotia Semi. Who say Papa no or a fugitive. Their friend or a convict because he was convicted by the court. No court Supreme Court. Say Omo Kwasha Assembly. So we're on that matter. Now Supreme Court Omo Kwan say 30th April. Omo be ba be ruling. Never share whether they will quash the High Court convicted the decision and now Omo Kwash. And then the court in there no. Yes, our court Ablekumanov, any Okaikwe Central, Tema Central, Techima South, any some were in court today again. And that one we file another process. You file another process, and that process will be held on the 2nd of April. So because of that, they couldn't taking their time to do our case today. The Supreme Court they had to adjourn Senator. And you say, Omo Coin, now your application they apply no, every 2nd April. After 2nd April, and some Ombesa to Asu, the main case, no. Ablekumanov, any Okaikwe Central, Tema Central, any Techima South. So today that is what happened in court.
And the ruling be a ma.
Then they are ruling the Amba.
Okay. Techima South in the constituency okay say no Ablekumanov Nkwana omuni MP or parliament, but other constituencies need the MPs in the court.
MPs in the court. You be you money na because omu are illegal MPs. You be for coin for legal coin for na be you be use maybe you money na.
Na esa wama dredge nso say
no dia High Court na decent your friends Kufedwa High Court ho na a case no na ko so and the Embassy Supreme Court so that one is a different matter. It's being handled at Kufedwa High Court and we are following him up. We got the substituted service and then we'll deal with that matter. Now they've appeared in court, so we are following him up. The main case is an election petition case. We will make sure that no Dompe is removed from Parliament.
Okay. And they say yani the April now Supreme Court be kwa asem so ne yenhwe de be kwa akosi.
Eno.
Okay. I just say MPP almost so far there sorry no almost that so kon after sorry no almost kon do betimi akwa akopembra court ruling beba as to say Electoral Commission do ye no of amra kwa so ana say bia ye bebo agu.
Eno. Okay. That's it.
Yes, that's it. Abusuafo Dr. Tanko Rashid computer na yene no etwetwe enkomo no office oko court nti ye twen April de ebefri mu aba so far no Ablekuma North na wo ho akere wo mo na chese wo mu eni MP but udu Ablekuma North constituency so de wo mo MPs too MP omu mienu nyina no Obia Hasinayi.
Say thank you.
Almost see billboards for Honua.
Thank you.
I'm grateful. Thank you. I will serve you well. I say Ghana. Constitutional crisis he be new.
So that is right.
Because he acquire election. Yes, CI. They acquire election. So there's nothing like recollation, redeclaration,
we so be cultural petition against Electoral Commission.
Okay, so what it means is that
the incompetence. It's part of the incompetence crisis. A lack of being neutral, because the system can see I know elections. You kind of polling station constituency. Now you have resource. Who a problem? Court. Simplicity. Electoral Commission want to mean baby
to reverse.
No, because it has never happened before. Techima 2020 more MP Electoral Commission time you declare result now NDC for mo say omo pina amanfo wo ye ko but what's there amanfo wo omo court. What has changed? This is why this country we need to reset it, because no crano black how because green, and then where's now you create confusion, you create crisis. Ya can't abano. If Obia declare there was one, is it one constituency? The MPP didn't know, NDC knew, MPP now sign card and say, Wajatum say, you declare win, and then Electoral Commission comes and say no. You can't call recollation.
It has been declared in the polling center. That's it.
Oh, until we Electoral Commission, and you be a catch say. Situation where created Edinam Supreme Court. I was saying one because I always say in any serious jurisdiction, one train can no be interpretation. One can say by results of bread or more for my day. But Ghana's our culture.
Black man,
you need our culture. No, so you have to be forced out, and that is what is going to happen.
That's embarrassment.
No, play victim.
No.
No.
Say precedents have been set.
No, but you violated the Electoral Commission. You violated the
your own rules.
The rules.
Your own rules. So one which in Parliament.
To tell PNC for more argument. Say okay. Mbrani say more the paper no back. No mistakes work, sir. You call them back to go and rectify it. Way more here, more disqualify. Why be a God bless us so. Unknown mistakes or and there, and them correct man. I mean, what kind of life, what kind of country do we want to run? Oh,
I think at Argentina, what they will do is that they will even call when you take it there. You know, Omonu will transfer. You see, at Argentina, what you form the choir, they will get officer. Plus you go through page by page. So if there's because it wasn't his motive to disqualify anybody. Go to the post. Ghana for reject. It's as simple as that. And it's not somebody to say I'm cutting down the numbers. It's taxpayers' money in the amount of printing. You know. In fact, look at the number of times that they have to cancel some printing and change from. There were some people they called me. They said the way they give the contracts, was there even proper procurement procedure? That's the way they made me easy. I only go there as a IPAC member.
Okay.
Until whatever is that internal, I have no privy to that. So if you come to Alberta, they actually go through procurement like the whole and other region B, Eastern region. When there was an issue there, they have to reprint. They've given it to different companies to reprint and other things, no. And I said, myself, over business somewhere there. I just go there for meeting and leave there to my house.
You want to rig the election.
Exactly. So
you have to do things. The benefit of it.
And I was there in the meeting when now the defense minister was Dr. Omanu Boahen said we are monitoring 1.4 million or 1.2 million ballot paper print to stop the TV. And the ISIS chair said, really? And then he said, yes, they are monitoring. And they will make sure election day. And that was our last meeting to the election. And through to election day, we all saw what happened. We saw what happened. And there were Genu ballot papers. Genu ones. So Harano, because the vigilante of the Scriptia, NDC party's internal Scriptia. And so I think that wherever they put you to do your work, and just try your best, and then when your time comes, then you go with good name. Don't go with bad name, because if at the end of the day they establish the truth, you can't stay there. And I don't know what kind of even people are now hungry for even Salad Ose to come back. Because I think she was very straightforward. She did her work. And what did we use? They said procurement breaches, right? Yeah. That was why they take her. And so, if as I said, 2024 election, was there procurement breaches or not? I'm sure they would, if they really go into it. Some of them were done maybe under certificate of agency, isn't it? But was there certificate of agency for the 2024 election? I would say no. No, in the sense that The election has a timetable. So we plan. We use more than even 1 year to plan. So the whole of 2024, you need from January to December, we'll be conducting election. We have done the register. We have exhibited the register. We had the final register. We have known the number of this that we are going to print. Even at the printing, there were errors at printing press. You know, there were some errors, and they have to stop it and redo it. So all these things was a cost.
Jamen Sakura de say obi so the petition be kokora 2020 general election declaration kwa kwete eno nko akra wo de wo ka be kwa say tenten eno nko akra 7
when they had no, but when they was announcing the general election for President Mama, is that a 6 million? Is it what is 6 million? Oh, first because of so quite clearly, I don't wish that way, but it's not me. It's about the state, and the state you all want to reset Ghana, and that was how the voting outcome came. And so President Mama, whether he like it or not, some of these actions he has to take them, because the president alone, he knows, he's listening. He's in this country, isn't it? He reads. So I can tell you, Ghanaians really mean a lot. And I'm happy that today they've abolished the e-levy. I know it's one of your topics that we'll be treating today.
E-levy.
But let me touch just before we go to the e-levy. This energy ministries and green transitions issue that came up yesterday. Nana, I'm worried. I'm worried because there's nobody who will bring container to the port. A container yira na ni bebe ni ofaya. The container yira wa haboa. Ya wa procedure to take container out of the port. So when you say me there are port issues ne me da have fitim.
O da ho de.
Fitim so me catchy. I dey for me teach.
Unim dia kwaso wo ho no fitim. Unim dia kwaso wo.
Minim dia kwaso wo ho.
Okay.
Fitim. The attendant say you must have certain documentations. If you are bringing the president car, you can't just go and take it because the president car. There must be documentations. So someone has instructed somebody to take something out of the port. And so when they go on the ICOM system, they will see it. They will see who cleared, where did it go to. They will see. It's in the system. What commodity? ECG commodities will be transformers.
So custom.
Yes.
System containers no.
Anybody who sanctions for container to go, they will see.
And they also bought your computer no.
Every custom officer preventive, they make their comments. They know national security. If national security also allowing something to go, they will still record that this one national security came for it. And so container cannot get lost. And I'm saying that's never been an ECG deba transformers. Never been on Modiba meters and some cables perhaps they will bring, isn't it? And so anything that ECG is bringing is capital intensive. A value. Because sometimes ECG can bring the goods through third party. Say Adikoka, your man contract says supply a meter. The Adikoka deba, he has to pay his duty, clear and bring it. There are communities that ECG themselves procure direct and bring it.
Okay.
Now ECG they are clearing department. They have the logistics department in-house. More staff. Say Jumino Bromwa. Now so as a agent, you have to mammy Jumino be saying me mom. Say your Munkasta direct to say what happens to 2,000 3,000 containers in Porton. So whoever clear what or whoever bought what on auction will be there. But the danger is if it is true that these containers actually was auctioned, so ECG, will you auction your meters to a third party, and that third party will bring them back to sell to you, and you buy? Will you auction your transformers for someone who deals in electricals to go and clear it to his warehouse and come back and sell it to you, and you buy it at what price?
But Kumbia minister the buyer was $500,000 and a core auction 100,000 Ghana cedis and a ECG Kokotori $300,000.
So there are cartel at ECG. There are cartels there. Someone has sanctioned. If they go into the system, they will see. those who clear all those containers. So see, container in Irabia, there was no container that fall in sea or at sea. And they said that when they were coming, there was some bad wind, like the wind that happened yesterday, that got broken by our brothers and said the AC malls, whole car canopy down. Gafra. There was no something like that. There was no any storm that the containers fell off. Sometimes by our I'm a maritime trade. I did my master's at Regional Maritime. If a ship is coming, loaded cargo, make container name and all the back. Now, if they got to a place in the sea and there's heavy storm, by law, they can throw some of and it will cause damage to the vessel or other goods. They can throw some of the goods to save the vessel and the life. They have that right.
By a new report, sir.
Yeah, new report, sir.
Minister, the
so what the minister
during transition period, you know, report on the man and they say 3,000 containers.
And what happened?
But later on, per record, no, not 2,500.
Good.
The question is
now, audit, no. It comes to 1,300 plus. It's not there.
1,320.
Yes.
So, either these containers never came to Ghana.
Yes.
Amba Ghana. Because there's a cartel, no, it will come in the books. Say Aba, no be sika.
No, then the vessel, then the shipping line will have a problem because the ship before the ship bed or dock, 72 hours to come into bed. You have to send shipping manifest to custom. Custom would have known what is coming.
It's coming.
Yes. And so why it is reported that it has arrived, they will even know which bed. Is it the MPS or the main port where the ship actually bed? And when they discharge, they will even know which terminal that the containers are.
But if the chairman so can one my list say import to near mana bag. Ebi so anema so kwan one more import.
So you will not have that report from the port.
Okay. So on the report from the port.
Yes.
Say
no report on one report.
Now
investigation.
Yes for no. Yes for no more handing over notes.
Yes.
Omo trust say omo 3,000 containers.
Yes.
Omo port did not give them that figure. What I say. But transitional handover notes no. Into Obatnas is okay. Let us go and do a physical audit because 5,000 demurrage in the number say omutua demurrage. In terms of demurrage, some billions. Munko kind say containers are in there. And how the audit one call your audit in the binds. You know, you 2,500 plus 1,328. No, my question is now. A proper investigation then must take place. For the port, director of ports, their boat in the Odessa and no by a discharge because every container you must have no manifest one.
Yes.
As a baby eco park one national security.
Yes.
So this is what because it is far so more auction is at what period in a more auction?
But
that's why
in trenches, but somewhere 2024 or see October, September. One morning,
let me give you clinical order.
The bay crown a call demurrage, and the bay starting
so Nemano, I better do tema porter. Quite apart from the shipping manifest now, they can ask for it now. ECG who placed the order? ECG, Electricity Corporation or Company, Ghana. Is that not it? So if the ship set sail, say a loading or if you are taking delivery of the consignment from origin now, or best send a bill of lading to the procurer. That is the ECG.
That's right.
So where are the bill of lading? Bill of lading, no. They should go to the shipping department of ECG. I don't know whether if the investigators have actually went there or not. So the bill of lading itself will tell you what is in the container. Name our container.
Mitchell says Sadia Anama Sadia a chese port in Yama Ejira Hono easy. Who say sometimes a man for ba no more complaints omo car said ba ayera omo container ayera. Just there's something there's some cartel there. Omo they can just carry because they wing so they can just put a container so huge on a truck and just drive through the port security and go away it's far-fetched.
Yeah, they shop port. I say cartel no ewa aben.
That's what I'm saying. There's some. I believe I'm starting to be corrected because the minister should take his time. Like I heard you to have this properly examined. Either the things never came, and somebody concocted the paper and went to collect money.
Then the shipping line will be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
No, you cannot present manifest that you have not carrying the cargo.
Say any shipping line here, we are not dealing with any shipping line.
Sometimes so obi bet now, but to my at my office. Now by a list, not their courses. I know me about who watches the watchman. That's the question. Who watches the watchman?
That's what I said. When the cargo set sail, you be important. You know, they send the bill of lading.
I'm saying that probably
even the minister is not helping. He's not telling what kind of. They get a cargo goose bay. Nema bay. And now we Nana ma wa nema no.
I believe say in no be amba.
Because in the first place, transition when you set 3,000.
Nema bay.
Nema bay. ECG. What do you have to ECG nema? ECG nema no. Or the report in beba. Committee report or the beba. Say meters, transformers, cables or the beba. But transition no no. Eman say 3,000 containers. Then later no. Ebe 2,500.
That on reality.
On reality, so a walk around 500, but document musa 3,000 containers. So ECG sika e import 3,000 containers. And when there were ECG in Kratemu.
And I'm so
1,000 something na ajira. But deficits who were baby 500 containers no so hefa.
So and that's what
it's not just no crown say I am power say 2,500 no buy ya 500 no so crown so way.
I want him fine. And that's why because if ECG doesn't need distance, why would they procure it? They procure because they want to expand rural electrification.
The Mama says Ghana is a criminal a crime.
I said the perpetrated crimes.
Crime stage. A boy a man of 41 years. Unkuto work of $7.1 million. I'm saying a topic. 41 years old. 41 years old. 44 years old. $7.5 million. At the age of 40, what one could do with what to die? 27. 27 houses. Who the head?
Who baby?
I'm saying the Biswa era. You know, 27 houses. Nanama, I don't know your age now, but say who was our age? No, who need 2 houses? It's a home mobra. It's a home mobra. Some person catch you.
One crab in Timam.
Mobra.
No, I have an mobra. It's a one mobra. I have an mobra. Oh yeah, Juma. You gather together. It's not easy.
Only you didn't quite do any 14. Just a man. Mobra.
Seriously.
Because 44 will pay to me at the whole estate. And you're dying basa.
That's why President Mama says something. And that was why President Kufuor said that if you want to make money,
say how can we sit down? It is a containers 1,200 and whatever. I was surprised.
I'm very surprised.
Because we went down there until a sky trade. A man for a bomb $2 million. How much? How much? $2 million. How much? About bomb team. How much? $2 million. Yeah, okay, Ejapa. Ejapa there. Yeah, see a quarter shares. The quarter shares were in for London Stock Exchange. Sasakano
and also
it's
now $58 million. The dam no
Palugu dam
no that dam no Parliament cathedral national
58 million.
$58 million.
Eko into
Such a person okoto house what airport is no say you rich person. How? How? Oja okola wa abako to from toso to is no.
Can very serious.
Obi sending it down now wakoto we yi ne dia ama me Adu Boahen. Mayfair. Sa 2 buildings 1 million bi wa ye watua $1 million. Ebi nso on wa deposit $500,000. But $500,000 no. Sa Mayfair ho no. Why you deposit or they top 5? Melo, my sending pictures now.
$1 million
back.
Yes, or be a company. Man for quiet Juma.
These things, this is where Ghana, where any other jurisdiction, which my way were China, which my way
will hang you. If you prove it, you will be hanged.
You will be hanged.
They will hang you.
Well, say, how? At this age, you say. Young men are mobile no. Sisia, what are you showing them? What are you telling the youth are mobile? So that is what you are going to say. The only way to be rich is to steal. That is what they are teaching everybody.
And it's like so about politics.
Government appointees.
Somebody said he was so rich, and I said, "Oh, he was so rich. Why did he find himself?" Can the appointment got own appointment? Because I didn't want him to be. People to front with the name no.
But chairman,
why?
And some we age adano wo briefie na edano na me de ato so no. We ye Mayfair ho de. Oh, Kwame. Me so obehwe me.
We were born before computer. You were born before computer, right? Aye, say me amo.
Bra be you very free so mama. Mayfair ho no mu de ni. E 2. Aha, Mayfair. When he why yeah, me will say me keyboard. I need to man basa. When he 2. National
service. 50 or 81,000 ghost names.
81,000 ghost names. I only yet just 2024
this man, this former MPP deputy secretary, what's the name? Lawyer everywhere. I say Aboye. What's the Aboye? What's the Aboye?
Chairman, come here ye di nyina so ya te say. Empanimfo egyina mu a pam NDC for empanimfo chew say.
Say
prosecution ne mum fa binu mum enfo se mu beji adwapade bia monje mu beji
meti won and be say clerk no say omon koye sa adwuma no
chairman ba so what
no mintie na mitie I'll be the first person to come and sit on you and condemn it hwe Ghana for omon ani abro NDC no hwe say yanye bibia yanye development bia po Nessa uncle for more fire sikai. Your G is sick and they are more so. Ghanaians will be happy.
Sir.
And President Mahama own him. Ghanaians will be happy. Because Chrono more bono. I'm not for Bokron. But where they are born, it's too much. And what pains me is young guys are yes, yeah, more much opportunities. No more yes, I know me. Sure, 1979. I'm a do me. What is also? Oko bank. No, call you 5,000 loan.
1979. Okay.
Oko you loan 5,000.
Sata na 5,000 so yes kaka.
You bonitro. So why so using the position? So the money call you loan 5,000. Why so ko wi ayo? Oko you loan. Amame for more market. E chon wan ba say mo ye kalabule na here na onya okoto mboko emo e bia 5 cedi no that to any the kalabule ye strip him naked ye shwe won say omunja kalabule omunja krono that what they says corruption. And this one no be pacho say yeah there e be a young man 40 years old said so okori ni birthday. Share no more koye wo.
What they so on omeji government
yes sir. No maybe wo wa ye wo nso ase.
Okay, show off.
Ye wo nso ase. Because it's also book unte dey juma na we ya unkute ejuma but Ghana ha president impo president process no
it's me independence square
oh no me why we are not training the youth to be hard working. Even though Proba is hard working, you have to show some level of circumspection. You must be circumspect. Oh, because otherwise, where is this country going? If in the way in the way no. How are we developing this country?
And it's a software can chief imam any for a cassian money bemu be patcha because and this is the my bidao.
I'm a patcho.
Ebe patcha say
any the Pacona a company chunk on a patcho. Yeah.
That I want to say before I move because I'm going to Class FM.
Okay, 505.
Me to say, honorable affair market say, he live in an now the as for extension of the special import levy, importers will be disappointed. We will not be disappointed. Person say we will not be disappointed as importers because 2024 budget was presented in 2023. We told them that they should abolish it. In fact, this special import levy, they were supposed to abolish it in 2017 budget, but NDC lost. That was the time it was supposed to go off. They came, they asked for extension 2017 to 2018, 2018 to 2019, 2019 to they've done budget for the past 8 years. They never abolish it. In 2022 or 2023, that was where they brought the COVID levy to. That was when they take off the 1%. So now they also took 1% and brought 1% back. So what are they talking about? These people, they said they will take e-levy, they take it off. They said they will take betting tax, they take it off.
Emission
tax, they've taken it off. They didn't promise that they would take COVID levy, special import levy. It wasn't promised.
Okay.
But even though we were pushing that it should be taken off, so they asked for an extension, I think up to 2026 or so, or 2027 thereabout, 2026. So we will not be disappointed.
Okay.
We would have been disappointed when they came and said, well, I think COVID levy too. They promised that they were going to take it off, but they want to engage. They are going to engage us in the rationalization
because of our VAT.
Yes. They said they are going to engage us. So the engagement hasn't come. It was set in the budget statement, and so if he has no moral to making this statement that he thinks that we should sway with him, we will not sway with him. The same thing. Their news did something about me. ABC News and World News did something about me and said that I said importers were disappointed. We never said anything like that. So I can tell you that for Mumbungu, we are not disappointed. We have confidence in the government. We are going to engage the government. The government shows that they are ready to engage us, and that is finished too. And so Ade, I wish you all the best.
Okay.
But I know that your appointment is coming. When they come, Ade, your appointment come, because just say a very hard former chairman, hard senior most man, and Brother Mama.
Chairman, your board chairman.
Board chairman. Sorry, we can't you can't catch you say your board chairman.
Board chairman. Chairman, your board chairman.
But do Kaime
Chairman, CEO, minister. Chairman, your board chairman. Board chairman. Chairman, not yet can be about. Yes, share the real, yeah, loot to a mine for we were 40 years, we were 44 near the other. And then what can be say 71 obi kwaji loan 5,000 you borrow to okuru and ma kalabule they are not here woman. Is it because of say chairman as such no and share effective because sikani bam na say wuti din ya unlike President Mahama Mills Mahama you say bia mu take action against makasa mu phobia and no nam so ma buga pele no ehwo chire wo mo ne ade is it because of say no politicians no omu nso hwe because enamfo wom ahimfo wom asofo mpani for chief imam wom ye kokko to cry betimi akokko to cry sign konkusi hwe entina
no yeah because they are glorified yeah it is Ghana oda car kesimwa ne obi a glorify o ko chapra una yema lead seat. Nobody questions how, there's nothing called life audit. Say America ana Britain ana baby sir you say nanama nancy nanama ne about 1 year nanama siza ya level away do no yan ka hwinkyerɛ wo but quietly no ya better show name mu say ana no ma wo ye no correct correct obi amisa wo obi amisa wasem bia but here no here sometimes weddings and you say en kasa no obi nyesika wo but young girl or your wedding you see on social media was I work kama ye ne
aye kura o da wale aye kura chairman aye kura
it's we sir what are you what signal no or sending no somebody to is also watching say we am so
and aye kwa ye obi e ko show ne cars obi e ko show just say aye kura
and that is where Ghana we are leading towards and yeah fire ni sifu that's why corruption no a cancer or a system no we have to because no my no I see is a tip of the iceberg. Okay, I say during opposition for President Akufo at the time it is a amount for polytank amu discuss oh man no nipakono okoto polytank wonu nkrofa osuma so they are the people who go out and go and say all this whether it is true or false nobody knows but it's about time all of us as a people as a nation you can say man confirm pesca we are not saying that but there must be some decency and truthness about it
but chairman the American say a quiet first will handle these cases say obi akwakoye director general ewo a national signal bureau next kabebeto signal bureau account mu na wa transfer kwakoto on account.
It is a weakness of the institution
and then said the AG can say we mususa no dey me pese me hu ni say aso twenu mu o ha ye entina say
exactly
and scale obi e mo obi
for the past years who say atwo bia so and so they were corrupt you tell clearing agent ibedu baby no okay a person Eugene Hughes the year because I'm or 16 houses all of a sudden the obia no
obia na ontimi kwanya skantu an rent ya otin ne yiri sister fee
it is somehow kind of punishment we don't seem to punish crime but we glorify crime. That is what we do in this country. We glorify crime. Na man for us so mo cars Saturday afternoon. No more we different cars. Na the nam cred. Na man for mpesa we body. Na obi ani aje. Obi so we glorify it. But when you go beneath us, so there's a big hole there. How are these things be so?
And you which do kwa kanu meja omo sha omo wan kwana na ase as omo dey asese be omo amobra.
Dabi
because we share the nkrofo said you can sit there here. As the car to so nemu na kwa.
It's answer no the moral fabric of the country, you know. It is being weakened. Akofom. That is why we are seeing all these things. Sometimes, you know, you kakra no. E be say na ya bobra because yes you are far system no. Ya first say you nimsa sa na ya bobra ka. Akanchi aka na ready.
Say opportunities ya munya mansi that.
No, we didn't misuse it.
Okay.
That's the word. We didn't misuse it because we were brought up that you must be very, very, very conscious of what you are doing. But one person will do enugwase, bema wo busiafo. What I say? So go back. Only 1 or 2, 3. Kwame Nkrumah obedi abai. Ofi abai mo ye otun. Only them bakubo. You can imagine those days. The prudence. No man call for me say we want to we Ghana first. ya papa no mo ko eduma na etua mo akotua no ebi na omoni hwe yen e cross school. They didn't have any other extra income bia baby omo ye eduma ono sika edit ono omodi hwe yen medical school ya maame no omo kola eduma omo ono omodi hwe they were just frugal. What about these days no na ye no boom
ye mi mo kra ye mi o ma no
dabi ye no boom no maybe na o hwe o de wani hwe ana ye renance onam ye asisi a o ye mansion o demu a obisa how many years in a wawa bema onya sa big mansion nti obi a wa ba be mu no ono so wire o say me so me because obi ye no ya no hwe nti wada me dey no bi ba yen bibi. And that's the reason is leadership. It is very, very important. Leadership is very, very important. The normal President Mahama always or continue. The power there, if he was able to arrest his own body, Abu Pele was his very good for any parliament. Very good for parliament, but he was able to stand and say no. I'm going to deal with you. And since I was serving notice, I'm obia. So Okobo connect you. Don't come in. Beg says so. No kazanin crop. One is Oko baby. Mama Juma. Kona koye Juma. Ye Juma. If you deserve some reward, the people will reward you. But Okobo connect you. Don't come and sing to me. Oh, and that is leadership.